Welcome to the Unlock Your Greatness podcast. I am your host, Ramon Martin. My today's guest is a Go in digital marketing coach. You can catch her on TikTok, and she live streams about few days a week, especially Mondays and Tuesdays with Coins and Collections. And she has guests, yours truly, and many more. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Lenora. How you doing today, Coach?
You. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. So, and goals coach. So, goals in digital marketing coach. I know they go hand in hand as well. Can you just explain to the audience the type of work you do?
Sure, sure. So, for the most part, what I do, I'm a certified life coach. I've been certified since 2008, actually. And so, for the most part, with goals, I just work with people in regards to their mindset, the goals that they want to have for their lives when it comes to just their business. Maybe it's goals if it's like, for example, their weight or their health, goals in regards to just I always say about mindset because we have to start there because if you don't believe that you can achieve something, then the likelihood that that ability to be able to achieve is not going to happen. And you'll get so close and then you'll be like, it's not working. I didn't lose enough weight. I haven't, met the goal that I was expecting to meet by this time. And then you just fall off of it. So for the most part, goals is really where I like to focus. And it just depends on that individual's goals. And then we work through it from there. And then for the digital marketing part, that part is mainly about social media marketing is the easiest way to describe it. So how do we go about building up our platforms? How do we go about increasing the amount of views that we have? How frequently do we need to post a day? How do we get, our products or services out there amongst the masses so that that way people will want to hopefully be drawn to us, attracted to us, and then want to purchase from us. So those are some of the things that I've been working on.
Oh, yeah, that's great. And just it's funny that you say that about like the mindset because like every New Year's, everybody set goals and stuff, and of course, most of us fall off on our goals like the beginning in the New Year's, and nobody talks about mindset. Like you
Yeah,
got the goal, but like how do you apply to it?
right. The
And that
mindset,
mindset,
and it's hand in hand.
yes, yeah, and that's great. And what inspired you to get into marketing and digital marketing and coaching?
That is a funny story. It happened through TikTok, believe it or not. It was not even anything that was on my radar. I think a lot of people get on a platform, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and they have maybe a desire to have some of the success that other people have had, whether it's from a perspective of followers or people who are going to want to engage in your content, people who might want to purchase, like for me, my life coaching packages and things of that nature. And so, based on that, I was on TikTok. I was participating in just, going into different lives, running across different things, and happened to stumble upon this DJ who was playing music. And I was like, oh, wow, he's a really good DJ. Like he hits all the good old school songs. So listening to this DJ, and he said, hey, if you're a subscriber, you get a free mug from me because I've worked with Shopify and Printify, and therefore you can, I will send it to you for free, but I'm going to do it through my own Shopify store. I'll pay for it, send it to your address. You just send it to me in the DMs. And then you'll get this mug with my face on it. And, because you spent $2.99 for a subscription, right? And I was like, oh, that's a great way to get people to subscribe to you is that they're going to get a free gift. So I'm listening to him, and how he marketed himself, in his brand. And so then all of a sudden he was like, and then as a subscriber, every Sunday or every other Sunday, I do a free course in regards to teaching you how I did that. How did I set up my Shopify store and then my, Printify store so that that way people can go to my website, they can purchase something. I don't even have to touch it. It could be t-shirts, it could be mugs, it could be pins, it could be anything, and whatever I pick, they get their cut, they send it to you. So I'm listening to him and I was like, that's making money while you sleep, residual income, another diversifying your income, all of that. So I go and I listen to him on one Sunday and he walked through everything. Then the next time he did a Canva, tutorial of how to add videos and things to move. And, so it's not just a flyer, but it's like, if you're creating something, then, you can make it really cool. And I was like, this is really awesome. So it sent me on this rabbit hole of how do you make money online? Because it was so funny. Like when he was DJing, you would say, oh, I love that microphone. He was like, it's in my store. And they were like, oh, I love the string lights that you have behind you. It's in my store. Oh, those shades you're wearing, dude, those are so cool. They're in my store. So he was like, literally, his brand was every single piece of everything that he showed you online. It's in his store. And so that's where I was like, oh, he's making money in his sleep through this. And based on that, I started doing some research, stumbled upon some digital marketing courses, and the rest is history. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
do attribute it to him. And I will tell him, and even he's come into my room while I'm talking about it on a live, and he'll say, I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad that you are getting this going. And I was like, you were my inspiration. I didn't even know this was a thing until I saw you talking about it.
oh no, that's cool. So
Yeah.
and also inspiration. Also do a live every Monday and Tuesday, which like I said, I join it at times on Monday and Tuesdays. Mondays and Tuesdays at 9 p.m.
Nine
Eastern Standard
Eastern.
Time,
Yep.
Eastern, Queens and Collections.
Yep.
And of course you don't do no marketing on there, but you invite people to come on the live and do topics and stuff, and reaching out to people, because that's also one thing. How I met you as well, met you through Marlene and Troy Chadwick on the live,
Yes.
and and with the line work we do, we help people. And so that platform you opened up for people who ever want to talk or event, and just a safe place. You provided a safe haven for people who just want to come and just talk.
Yeah.
And just how amazing is that? Just tell the audience will motivate you to do that.
So when I came onto TikTok and decided I was going to go live, I had enough followers to go live. I was like, well, what's my voice? Like, what's my platform? Who am I going to be? And I tried a number of things. And I feel like I'm still molding in a way, but I started off with some cards that were just inspirational cards. And I would just hold them up and it would say, your passion is your guiding light or something like that. And so then I would just say, oh, this says your passion is your guiding light. Let me tell you about that. This is how I feel when I read this card. And I would just talk about certain things, and people would come in the room, and some people would chat, and some people would leave. It was just one of those things. Then I started with affirmations. So then I was like, oh, let me just go through and come up with 10 affirmations. And then I'm going to not only talk about, like, say what they are, but I'm going to talk about them in depth. Like, the reason that we need to talk about, my health is my wealth is because if you don't have health, you can't really enjoy the wealth, and
Right.
I just started, talking through that. Then it morphed into my motivational Mondays and talk show Tuesdays. So on Tuesdays, I was doing a talk show, which was a lot like this, where I would interview people every Tuesday and have, actually, funny enough, you mentioned Marlene, because she was almost my PR person. She would just say, oh, this is a great person for you to interview. I'll connect the two of you. She was the connector. That's what I call her, Miss Connector. So she would connect the two of us, and then I would go ahead and interview the person, all of that. So she was attempting to connect me with Troy for me to interview him. And he, in his wisdom, said, well, I know you. Why don't you interview me? And she was like, me? Like, no, I don't know if I can do that. So, so she and I talked a little, behind the scenes. And I was like, girl, you got it. Go for it. I know you were trying to connect him with me, but I think that's a perfect idea. Just let me know the time and place. I'll be there. I'll support you, the whole 9 yards. And that's how I met you and some other people in Troy's community, which has been amazing, right? And so everything kind of unfolds in its natural course, right? So had it not been for me doing an interview type role where Marlene was the connector trying to connect people. I wouldn't have known about Troy for me to be in the room when she was interviewing Troy, you know? So it's like everything played its part. And so as all that's happening and I'm in the rooms and I realized, you know what? It's a lot of work to find people. And I don't know if you find that for this podcast, but for me, it's hard to find people to potentially interview. You know, I was like, who's the person? What's their story? Am I going to be interested in their story? You know, all those things, because I had one day a week that I was, you know, going to be
Yeah.
doing that. And so I just decided, let me set that to the side and figure out what the next thing will be. And that's where Coins and Connections came from. And
Yeah.
basically, that is to help people to monetize their account. Again, being a life coach and a digital marketing coach and someone who wants to help people with their social footprint, I felt like it's a win-win. If you're in the box, as people come in the room, they can follow you. If they want to gift you, they can gift you. Some people have never gotten a gift their entire existence on any social media platform, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, any of them. And so therefore they could come into this little box, don't even have to cut your camera on. You might not even want to cut on your microphone. I don't know. Most people do, but they could come into this box and just hang out, potentially be a part of the conversation, and then others within the room could gift them. And the very first idea I had of that, it was one lady who I knew in real life, and she came into my room and we were talking about relationships, and she had been in her relationship for almost 30 years. So she didn't know she could come into a box. So she was like, oh my gosh, I can do that. And I was like, yeah, just press this and you can go. So she came into the box. And then after she got into the box, I was like, now unmute your microphone. You won't be able to take yourself off camera, because she didn't have, I don't think she was even at 300 followers at that point. She shared a wealth of information about just relationships and give and trust and, you know, the give and take and compromise and all of that. I mean, she was amazing in what she shared, and she's a spiritual person, so she even shared it from a spiritual
Yeah.
level. And people started gifting her left and right. I mean, when I tell you I've never gotten a galaxy, but she got a galaxy that night
Yeah.
because everybody knew it was her first night being on the platform and just being able to tell her story. It just brought me joy to know that she was like, wait, what is happening? Wait, I got real money? Like, this is real money. And I was like, yes, it's real money that you can cash in. And so the rest is history. So that's kind of another thing that sparked it. So sorry that was a long answer, but it kind of had a lot of roundabout way of getting to where it is today. And it could morph again. Who knows?
Oh yeah, no, that's great. No, that's awesome. This is you're the guest. This is your show, open platform for you. No,
Awesome.
that's amazing. And we just and that just my mentor Les Brown talks about quality people and like attracts like, as Troy Chadwick says, and with the Coins of Connection, it just bringing everybody together. And
Yeah.
just from my experience on there, being the guest this last couple of weeks, the vibration is very high. I'm a better person than I am yesterday, because one of the
Oh,
reasons why, because of your platform, just
love it.
amazing people. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, OQP quality. He said Les Brown said, quotes, practice OQP, only quality people.
Only quality
Yeah,
people. I love
yeah,
it. Yeah. No. And that's the thing. It's funny you say that, because when I started going live, I was trying to set an intention, because I really feel that that's important, to set an intention of what it is that you want to attract. And that's one of the things that I wanted. Like, I want to attract the right type of people, the people who understand the vibe that I'm trying to create, and people who will be drawn to that type of energy. So, because I mean, we all know there are trolls on social media, and
of
that was
course. Yeah,
something that I was just like, I don't want to think about them, because I don't want that type of energy coming into my room. And it's peeped its ugly head once or twice, but for the most part, and I think you can agree that typically it's just great, positive people, or people who
yes,
come and go, like they just go through. Ideally, I'd love for it to grow even more, but I'm not doing those things that I'm even learning in my digital marketing classes that I should be doing, but I'm not doing. So, for example, I should be posting a video before I go live, because that's going to help the algorithm know that,
yeah,
hey, because if you think about it, you could be scrolling through your For You page and you'll see somebody have a video, and then you'll see that little red box right beside them is showing that they're live at that moment because they knew that that's what the algorithm will do. Put it as a story or put it on your wall, but basically post a story and then go live. Share your own live, all those things. I don't do those things. So I'm like, because in a way, I want things to happen organically, but at the same time, organically is slowly. So it's like, okay, which is it? So I maybe this week I'll do better on Monday and Tuesday about posting something first, then going live. And then that way we'll see if that increases any of the activity within the room. But I'm also a firm believer of who's supposed to be in the room is in the room.
Right. Yes.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure. And and I think as you keep doing it, and even with your digital marketing, just keep showing up. Just keep showing up and do what the mentor say. Success will blossom.
Yep, exactly. And that's the part that I'm realizing. I know that my Monday and Tuesday, no matter what, I'm showing up. It's like clockwork. And part of that is because of people like yourself and other people who I know they're looking for me, or they might get the notification, or they may like people are wanting to be there. So if I miss it, then it makes me feel bad. Like, oh man, like I needed to be there. So, and I need to be that same way for other days of the week and other things that I want to talk about because there's other products I want to share. There's other information that I want to do. And, I'm a coach, but I'm also coachable. So therefore, I know that when I am in a space of prioritizing other things over what it is that I need to prioritize for myself, then that's not a good place to be. So you got to work on yourself too as you're helping people to work on themselves. So I can't know everything. I don't know it all. So I'm very open and honest and forthcoming about the fact that, I'm working through things too. That's why therapists have therapists, right? That's
Right.
just the way
Yep.
that things go. So, yep,
Yep. And mentors have mentors. Coaches have
yep,
coaches.
a hundred percent.
Yes. Oh, here go a question. Here it says, how do you approach setting and achieving goals with your clients? And what tools or frameworks do you use?
It's a great question. Or questions. So when it comes to setting goals with my clients, first of all, I like to peel back the layers of an onion, right? So I want to talk to them and discover who they are. A lot of times clients, when they work with me, I may not know their story. I may not know who they are. So I want to take the time to figure out who they are, what it is that they want to achieve. What is that end result? What have they done to this point? Like, are there certain things that they have done to this point that didn't work, weren't successful? And was it that it wasn't successful because it truly wouldn't work? Or is it that it wasn't successful because they didn't have the right tools in place? So I like to kind of figure out all those things and kind of delve back to start. I'm not someone who would want to jump in and say, oh, here's my structured plan of how you do X, Y, and Z every single time you want to set a goal. Like, because that to me doesn't allow for the reality of where that person is in their headspace, right? Again, it's all about mindset. So therefore, I would want to talk to the person, understand more, get through their mindset, figuring everything out, and then from there come up with a structured plan. So it's not going to be something cookie cutter, but it's going to be something that kind of delves into what their needs are, where they are, because we might have to start with mindset for a little while before we can even get to the goals. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it
All
just
right. Yep.
depends. Then it could be, okay, your mindset is pretty much spot on with where it needs to be. You just haven't had the structure. You haven't had the level of accountability that you have needed in order to get to where you need to be. You haven't prioritized. So therefore, it's just figuring out how do we go through each of those steps to figure out what is lacking in their situation in regards to helping them get to their goals and going from there.
Oh, that's awesome. And and you do also do affirmations on TikTok every day, like top five, I think top five or top 10 affirmations of the day.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
originally, right, I had started off with doing like duos, I think, what is it called? Duets. That's what it was. So it was a video of something that was a powerful video. And then I would just be in the corner. You know how you see the little people in the corner. And then I didn't say anything. I just had the video play. And then the very next day, you would see a frame from that video. And then me speaking to why I thought that video was powerful. So I started there. Then I moved it on because I had heard that, TikTok's algorithm doesn't really like that. They would rather you do a minute of your own original content, right? They'll post that, but you're not going to get major views. And
Yeah.
that's a part of why we're out on social media too, is to get some
Mhm.
views. It's not a, arrogant thing. It's just, hey, I feel like I have something great to share and I want more and more people to see that great thing,
Right.
right? And so therefore I said, oh, let me just do myself on the screen. So I started just figuring out ChatGPT has been my friend. I will say that. So what I had done is I would just go through and say, okay, what are some famous quotes? Like give me 25 famous quotes. So I would just have a quote and then it could be, whatever that quote is. And then I would just go ahead and repeat the quote and then say, the reason that this stood out to me is because, and then I would just say why that quote stood out. And I would do everything off the cuff, everything off the top of my head. And so just recently, I happened to just last week post an affirmation one. Like it just said, okay, 5 affirmations. Let me just say some affirmations that I have said. So I did 5 affirmations and posted it. And it was one of the highest viewed videos that I've had in a while, actually. Not specifically on TikTok, but on Instagram and Facebook. Specifically my Facebook. I was getting very little engagement on Facebook. And a lot of people have forgotten about Facebook, but I have a ton of true, real followers over there that are like people
Mhm.
that would know me in real life, to the point that if I go to a wedding or a funeral or a graduation or whatever, like literally I will have tons of people come up to me and say, "Oh my God, I love your inspirational stuff. It is so good." And I'm like, to myself, I'm like, y'all aren't engaging with it though. Like nobody's liking it. So y'all are seeing it, but you're not engaging with it. You're not letting me know, because I was getting ready to stop it altogether. So once I started putting affirmations out there, all of a sudden I'm starting to realize the likes are going up, the content, the engagement is going up, all of that. So I said, okay. And literally I made a video saying, okay, y'all have shown me that y'all like this, so I'm going to continue to do
Yeah.
this. Literally the video that
Yeah.
I put. So all this week, that's all I've been doing is the top 5 affirmations that you could say today. So I kind of like the rhythm of that too. Number one, it's really quick videos for me to put together.
Nice.
I know that unfortunately, I know that TikTok doesn't like that it's going to be less than a minute, but I can't drag on 5 affirmations for a minute. So therefore, I just do it for the time frame that I have. And it's been working. It's been a lot of engagement, a lot of people even in my DMs, sharing information or putting something in the comments. So that might be around for a little while.
Oh no, that's great. I see them every day. I watch them, and yeah, they very inspiring. Yeah, I do something similar with today's affirmations or daily affirmations. And
Oh, okay.
yeah. So what if you get like three 300 views or 50 views and one like, if somebody leaves a comment and if it inspires them, you've done your work.
You've
That's
done
for
your
sure.
job.
Yeah.
Because all we can do is what we've been called to do, and then the rest, let the universe take it over and see where it lands, right? So we can just do
Yes.
what we've been called to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You just show for that one person who you inspired.
Yep,
Like you said,
absolutely.
people are looking forward to it now. Yeah,
Yep. I'm
yeah.
very excited about that too, because it's fun to do and to come up with and to work around. And Chat GPT might be my friend there too, and that's okay.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's like, I think some people give certain technology a bad rap, but it's there to help us to be able to do things in a little bit of a more simplistic and easier
Mhm.
way. And sometimes it's just rewording things too, because I have sometimes come up with something and I'm like, I wanted to say this and this, but I can't, it's not flowing. I can't get it to come
Right.
out right. And then
Mhm.
I'll just throw it in there and it'll be like bloop, bloop, bloop. And I'm like, oh my God, that sounds perfect. That's exactly what it was in my brain. I just couldn't get it out, out of my mouth.
No, that's what affirmations are quotes for. You see them, like I have an app. that I use, and you see me, I'll post on TikTok, and and sometimes I'll just do the video myself, but I'm quoting whoever said the quote.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, quotes are made to be duplicated and reused and said by other people as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
100%. a
yeah.
hundred percent. So I love it.
Like from my friend Cool Aaron, consistency turns into. Oh wait, okay, no, consistency. I'm sorry, Cool Aaron, I'm messing up on your quote. Consistency turns into momentum, and momentum turns into rhythm.
Yep.
Yes,
Exactly. Consistency, momentum, and rhythm
yes.
all turn. Yep. I loved it. That was great. Yeah, we all took that note down. Like
Oh
he
yeah,
came
we did.
up
Yeah,
with a gem.
he did. Yes. Look, here go AI question. Speaking of AI,
Oh,
what?
say that again.
I said I have a question from AI.
Oh,
I
from
said, see,
AI. Oh, I love it.
I'm just
Okay,
keeping
I'm
it real.
ready.
I'm keeping it real. Sometimes I use AI for questions as well.
Why not?
What experience do you have in digital marketing, and how you help clients achieve their goals in the past?
It's a great question because digital marketing is new for me. So this is truly a space
Yeah,
where I am being coached. I am being mentored the whole 9 yards. Like it is something that it's been a few months maximum. So as I am coaching, it's more coaching people from a perspective of helping them to understand what digital marketing is about and also helping to make sure they have the right tools. So as someone purchases it, it's one of those things that when somebody purchases, say, a course, like a digital course, they can choose, I never want to talk to Coach Lenora again. Like, that's great. Thank you for telling me about this. I got it. I'm going to work on it. I'm done. Like, and I don't want to be that person that's like, hey, do you need any help? Hey, do you want me to assist you? Hey, do you need anything? Because somebody could be so well in tune with what it is that they want to do with it. Oh, I'm just using it for my own lash business because I do eyelashes and I just wanted to purchase a course to tell me how do I get more followers? How do I create flyers? How do I cut up my videos to make them more engaging? And that's all I want. I don't want to do anything else with Coach Lenora. And that's okay. And then you could have other people who are like, can you handhold me and help me open my store? Because I have I'm looking at the video of it step by step of how to create a store, attach a Stripe account, attach a PayPal. What about Afterpay and Klarna? Like, how do I do all these things? And they may feel like they don't get it, right? They can't put it all together and they need somebody to handhold them through that. So I want to be that resource for them. I want to connect them with my mentor because she's already had a huge level of success that I am aspiring to, but wanting to be able to say, look, I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm not going to keep information from you because I'm working
right.
with this mentor. If she's opened it up and said that other people can come into her sessions and be able to learn as well for free, why wouldn't I open that up to everybody so that we can all learn together? And what I call my group is the prosperity partners. So we can be
Oh, that's cool.
prosperity partners together,
You might
right?
want to trademark
So
that one.
say that again.
Might want to trademark that one.
Oh, I might. You might be
Yeah,
right. I might want to do that. Yeah. So the group of prosperity partners who all just want to work together and say, okay, we're on one accord trying to grow. And yes, Coach Lenore is like a few months ahead of us, but they could come in, knock it out the park and surpass me in no time. And I will just be their biggest cheerleader and support them because everybody has to work any business that they do to the degree and level in which it works best for them. For some people, they may have 2 hours a day. For other people, they may have 10 hours a day. And there's going to be different levels of success based on what people can contribute to the process. So I say all that to say that I coach as needed. And I also work through my mentor to assist with coaching as well. But anybody who purchases digital product from me, they get at least they get constantly get coaching, but they get the first session is really you've purchased the product, go to my calendar and set up a time for us to connect and talk, figure out your goals and get you on the right path.
that's awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely post that information on the link when we release this episode.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Great, great.
yeah. What are your favorite quotes?
Ooh, my number one favorite quote. Well, I have a couple that have come into mind. So it's this one. It's funny because it's Yoda, but it's do or do not. There is no try.
Oh, I did that one on TikTok, and I actually did his voice.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. But I love that one and how it speaks to me because it's like it's just funny because number one, I love the movies, but also it's
Yeah.
like it's so true. Like if you say I'm gonna try, well then that's a whole different energy you're putting behind it than I will do. It will
Yeah,
happen,
that's real.
right? So absolutely that one for sure. There's the Henry Ford quote that is basically like, if you think you can or you cannot, either way, you're right. So that one
Yeah.
to me is really powerful too. That one actually I have is the backdrop on my Facebook page where it's been up there forever because it's like whether you think can or you can't, you're right.
You're right.
And then like the one that's a Martin Luther King one that basically says that you just have to take the first step. You don't have to see the full staircase, but just take the first step. And then everything unfolds after that. And I can't remember the exact words of it, but it's something to that degree where it's a
Mhm.
longer quote, but it's basically all you have to do is just take the first step and then the next step will unfold after that and the next one after that. And I think there's a lot of people who are very fearful and allow fear to hinder them from taking the first step because they're like, well, I don't want to, like, for example, purchasing a digital course, right? I don't want to purchase a digital course because then I'm going to have to pay taxes if I sell it. And then if I sell it and I have to pay taxes and I don't know how to do that. And then I have to have a business name and then I have to have an LLC. And then I'm going to have to have this and then I'm going to have that. And then I'm going to do that. And it's just like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Like, that's not the first step, doesn't need to be all those things. You can take the first step of purchasing a course and then the second step is opening a store and then the store you got to have a sale before you have to think about taxes and then do you even have to think about taxes before you even get to like a certain number of sales because you're investing in yourself and in your business. So it's like so many different nuances to everything. So I feel like some people it's just analysis paralysis, where it's just
Yeah.
like you analyze everything that could possibly happen to the point that you don't take any action because you're like, but then this could happen. And what if I talk about this? And then somebody asks me a question about that and I don't know the answer to that. And how do I deal with that? And it's like, you just tell them, oh, that's a great question. Can I DM you the answer to that? Because I don't know that off the top of my head. It's not that,
Yeah.
difficult. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, so that's where I said all of the knowledge, skills, information, understanding that you're going to need, it's going to come.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So before we get out of here, anything you want to say? Any closing remarks? Anything you want to talk about? Talk about anything in digital marketing or where they could follow you at, where they could find you?
Oh, thank you. Well, first and foremost, I just want to say I am so grateful for the opportunity to be here, to have this conversation. I am typically the person from everything you've probably heard that's on the other side of this, where I'm the one that's asking the questions
Yeah.
versus having the questions asked of me.
Yeah.
So it's refreshing to be able to say, oh, let me just share, my perspective on things. So thank you for opening up the invitation and opportunity to be able to come and have this conversation.
My
So thank you
pleasure.
for that. And just grateful also for the opportunity to have met you and to have you and I in the same space. And engaging in the same type of energy because I really like that community that we're building of people who are
Okay.
like-minded and are all about the same type of understanding. So thank you for that as well. Um, Actually, I'll just say that if people did want to follow me, by all means, they can follow me. I'm kind of the same name everywhere, which is Coach Lenora. So Lenora. So Coach Lenora. I'm that on TikTok. I'm that on Instagram. I'm that. Well, on Facebook, I'm not. I have a Coach Lenora. I haven't made it public yet. I'm building up some of my
Mhm.
videos and things like that on there. So I would say the other ones are the more the TikTok and Instagram are probably the places that you would find me the most. I'm also on a brand new app called Favorited. So it's like the word favorite with a D on the end. So favorited.
Yeah.
And that one I'm building a kind of base there as well. So been out there a couple of weeks already have about 1,500 followers out there. And so just trying to grow in that area. It's kind of like a different version of TikTok. And if it blows up the way TikTok did, then I want to be on the front end of that, which is why I
Right.
wanted to join. Right now, it's so fun. There's so many nice people. It's not the trolls, not the craziness. It's just fun. And it's almost like you go into people's rooms and it's so small right now that people are like, oh my gosh, Coach Lenora is here. How you doing, girl? You know, like
Mhm.
that kind of
Oh,
thing.
that's
So
awesome.
I like that feeling because you can just pop in from one place to the next, and everybody almost knows everybody because it's a small community that's starting to grow, but everybody's remembering the core folks who have been there first. So that's been fun. So if
Oh,
you
that's so
happen to go
cool.
out there, yeah, look for me, Coach Lenora there as well. But that's kind of it for my digital marketing. I'll just say the links are always in my bio on any platform that I'm in. So I call myself, because I say you have to see those things that are not as though they are. So I call myself the digital wealthy woman because I'm like, I'm all right. I ain't wealthy. Wealthy
Love
is
it.
a whole other level. So therefore, I'm like, I want to get to that level of being the wealthy woman, and not even for myself, but the way I would be able to bless my family, bless my friends, bless just strangers in the community, and the things that I would do with that wealth. It would not be taken for granted, that it would be in constant movement, because that is what it's all about, is not to just hoard everything for yourself. So a closed hand can't get anything in because it's not letting anything out, right?
That's
So
for
therefore,
sure.
And so I would definitely want to bless others with that. So feel free to check it out. I got free ebooks out there. I'm getting ready to put a credit repair one out there probably this weekend. So you might be able to find that out there as well for anybody who's feeling like that's a stumbling block. Again, as a coach, if people feel like, oh, my credit's too bad, I can't be a business owner. Well, let's work on it. Let's get that fixed. So those are some of the things that I have to offer.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, speak into existence, believe it, and it'll
Yes.
happen.
Amen to that.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for coming on the show. Truly appreciate it. It's been an honor having you on.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you again for the invite, Ramon. I appreciate you so much.
That's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Lenora.